Hello everyone, my name is John, I'm the Geeky Fanboy, and welcome back to Doctor Who Reviews. This time we are reviewing the newest Christmas special, The Church on Ruby Road. Apologies in advance if I should sound a bit weird, I'm still a bit sick, but nevertheless I was finally able to watch the new Doctor Who Christmas special, and I'm here to talk about it. It's going to be full spoilers, just a warning right here. There's a bit to talk about, so let's just jump straight into it. Okay, so overall thoughts on the special. I thought it was perfectly alright. Nothing too bad. Nothing all that great either. I have fun with it. I've never been like the biggest fan of the Doctor Who Christmas specials. Like, sure, they're fine, but they've never been like my favorite episodes of the show. Nor have they ever been like really that special to me. Um, But now we got this new one with the new Doctor making his first proper appearance, Shujigawa as the 15th Doctor, and of course we have Ruby as our new companion. So let's just talk about the characters, because I think the characters are the most important element of this story. Well, first up, let's talk about the Doctor. Shujigawa as the Doctor, I think, works great in this episode. I already said it in my review of the 16th anniversary specials, where we saw a bit of Shujigawa already, where I thought that he already exuded some great kind of charisma, and I think that just carries over into this episode. I think he makes a great first appearance as the Doctor. He immediately has this great eccentric energy where you can tell, yeah, this is an alien that has been around for quite a while. But also someone who you can tell has like recently regenerated, and he's sort of enjoying like his new freedom, so to speak, like his new body, his new youth, the sort of maybe levity he's had because the Doctor gave himself therapy essentially in the 60th anniversary. And I think you can tell because the Doctor's just out there sort of having fun. We see him out clubbing, which was a little unusual at first when I saw it, but I think works great. Because it does feel different, but I also think it's great to just see the Doctor out and about having fun. Uh, and I think you can definitely tell this kind of Doctor just like loves. You immediately get this energy of him that he just loves being out and about, going on adventures, saving people, talking to people, and that he has this perfect. I think that's what Shujigawa manages to play so well. He has this twinkle in the eye when he talks to people, like we see when he talks to Ruby, when he talks to the policeman. There's just like this twinkle in the eye where you can tell, yeah, he's smart. He's the smartest person in the room, and he's a little bit arrogant about it, but he's gonna tell you because he likes you, because he cares, and he wants you to like take something out of what he's saying. So I think that works really, really well, and I like how he plays this wonder the Doctor often has, like when he meets the goblins on the ship, and he's like immediately sort of mesmerized by them. Still understands the danger that he and Ruby are in, but he's still sort of like very, very curious to find out what's going on with these goblins, where they're coming from. Especially liked him working out like the language of rope, the language of the nods, which was so much fun, and just felt like very Doctor-ish. And in general, I'm already getting like great vibes from Shujigawa's Doctor. Of course, there's still a bit more to explore here, but I already think we got quite some good stuff. We also even got some emotional moments here, which I quite like when once Ruby disappears, and the Doctor notices that, and then he talks about he's recently been adopted. He found out he's been adopted, um, and then you for a short while you get like this sort of parallel world where Ruby never existed for that family, and you can see how shocked he is about Ruby disappearing, about the mum not fostering those kids anymore, being sort of lifeless and soulless compared to the person we've seen before. And I love that you could tell how the Doctor got really emotional about that, because of course there's like a sort of a connection to him having found out that he's adopted and he doesn't know who his parents are. And I really like that. I think it was a good little emotional moment there. But overall, I think the Doctor has some good energy in this episode. I'm excited to see where this incarnation of the Doctor is going, but I'm already feeling quite comfortable with him. As for Ruby, I think I like her so far. There isn't as much yet about her character I can talk about, I think, yeah, as with the Doctor. Um, I like how the actress plays the character. I think she's like a bit, um, quirky but not too weird. She's very like pleasant and nice, and I love her chemistry with her family, with her adopted mom and her grandma. I think that works really great, and of course she has great chemistry with the doctor. Like the two actors have good chemistry, which I think is quite important, of course, since that's the whole core element of the show. The doctor and their companion having good chemistry. But I think you can already see that they hit it off quite well. That she isn't entirely put off by the idea of adventure. She's curious, but there's also the sense of what the hell is even going on right now. Um, I like that. I just wish we don't really have like that much to work with yet in regards to Ruby. Um, because we don't really. The only real thing we know about her so far is like her family life, and that she's adopted, that she was a foundling, and she doesn't know who her parents are, and that's sort of it so far. Like we don't really know who she is removed from that, like what her hobbies are, what she's passionate about, that sort of thing. So that's something I hope the show is gonna explore a bit more as we go into the new series in 2024. But my first impressions of Ruby are positive. There's just not that much I can say about her yet. I just hope that she's not gonna be too much of a blank slate. That was also sort of my problem that I had with Clara, especially in her first episodes. And there are some parallels here, I think, also since Ruby is sort of like a mystery companion. There's like a mystery that surrounds her with like her parentage, and from what I can tell, her parentage is probably going to be a mystery that will be explored as the show goes on and moves into the new series. I'm not quite sure if I needed that, because I felt like, yeah, Ruby is like, I mean, sure, she's curious about her parents, but I mean, she's happy with her adoptive mother, and I don't really understand why we have to make a big deal, big mystery out of who Ruby's mom is, who her parents are. I feel like we don't really need that. But I know that Russell T Davies loves his like mystery boxes and his mystery stories and the mystery story arcs that run through an entire series. So I guess we'll pick that one up again, even though I personally think that we don't need it. And it's like not every companion. I just like when companions are just companions. It doesn't need to be like a whole mystery surrounding the companion. It doesn't necessarily have to be the case. But I guess the show has planted the seeds now, and we'll see where it goes. I don't want to theorize too much here. I guess we'll see what happens. In regards to the story, I think it was perfectly alright. As tends to be my problem with a lot of Christmas episodes, is it wasn't Christmassy enough. This could have as well been said on like almost any other day or any other holiday within the Doctor Who storyline. I don't entirely get what it had to do with Christmas. Like, sure, there's the imagery of a baby being born on Christmas Eve and all that, but the rest of the episode, I don't know. I mean, it's goblins kidnapping a baby. It felt very labyrinth, but that was sort of it. I don't know. This would have worked as a more of a New Year special. I don't know why we haven't kept New Year special. I still think New Year special works a bit better than Christmas special. But anyway, I think it was fine. I think the goblins were an interesting idea. Like sort of mixing up fantasy and sci-fi, which Doctor Who does a lot. I think I thought they were funny, even though I felt more reminded of not really goblins, but like not trolls or like gremlins or something. But like it didn't really feel like goblins, because I felt like goblins are not the ones who like do cause accidents and trickery and all that. I felt a bit like another creature, but I mean we're all more familiar with goblins. But then when they said Goblin King, I was immediately thinking of David Bowie, uh, which unfortunately did not turn up in the episode. Also, how could he have? But would have been amazing, that Goblin King. But I mean the Goblin song was fun. I think it was a mistake to release the song before the episode, because I had heard the song before watching the episode, and I think I would have enjoyed it even a bit more if I had just been surprised by the song as I watched the episode, because it's not a bad song. It's okay, and the singer who voices the female goblin who sings the song has a great voice, and I was admittedly surprised to see that the Doctor and Ruby were also singing in that song, which was quite funny. But overall, I think it was a good classic like Doctor Who adventure. Again, as also often tends to be my problem with the specials, because they are a tad longer than normal episodes. There is a tendency that those episodes, also in this case, I think, feel like they're just normal 45 minutes Doctor Who episodes, and they're just extended unnecessarily for like 10, 15 more minutes, even though the story could have been wrapped up already. It's also a bit of a case here, especially since when we get to like the whole parallel storyline or parallel timeline, I guess, where Ruby was kidnapped, the problem is solved quite quickly. Even though I did like the emotional stuff that happened with the Doctor in that conversation he had with the mum in that timeline, it didn't really end up being that big of a deal because he solved the problem quite quickly. But I did enjoy how he like threw himself immediately into the problem, where he was like, okay, it might not even work at all what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's worth a try. I did like that kind of energy that the Doctor had in that moment. I did enjoy like the all the stuff that was like with Ruby and her mum and her granny. That was all great to watch. Um, but overall, the story, like, it was fine. It was nothing bad, but it didn't like excite me that much, to be honest. But then again, like I said, that sort of tends to be the case for me with these Doctor Who Christmas specials, or the specials in Doctor Who. In general, they're fine, like light-hearted fun, nothing all that big. But I still have fun watching it. We get like another little mystery thing with the neighbor, with what's her name, Mrs. Flood, Miss Flood, who I think has also been hinted at is she's like also a mystery. The mystery surrounding her will also be explored in future episodes. Again, not quite sure we really needed that, and I know the internet's probably going wild with theories about who this person is, who she could turn out to be. If she's like, my initial theory when I finished watching the episode was, well, she's gonna be like a future version of Ruby or something. But I'm not really one who like likes to theorize all that much. I just want to get surprised by what happens. But again, it's that sort of mystery thing that I don't necessarily need from the show. I know that RTD has done it before, so has Moffat and Chibnall, like, all like sort of done this mystery story arc thingy before, which I don't necessarily hate, but also don't really need. Also, that old lady broke the fourth wall at the end. I'm not quite sure if that was just like a cheeky little hint at that one time the very first Doctor broke the fourth wall during a Christmas special, or if that meant something more. I guess we'll find out. I bet there's like a bunch of theories out there already on who this lady is, and I guess we'll find out. But for now, I'm happy with sort of where the episode ends, with like Ruby joining the Doctor now and going off on new adventures. In general, at the end here, I noticed that Russell T Davies, like now that he's returned to the show, I think isn't doing that much new. Like, obviously it looks different because it's almost 20 years later from when he made the show back in 2005. But also it felt very, very, very reminiscent of how he used to make the show back in the day. Obviously we already have all the nostalgia bait with like David Tennant and Catherine Tate back in the 60th anniversary specials, and well, I was already a tiny bit iffy on, yeah, do we really need David Tennant back and all that? But I mean, sure, it was fun, nostalgia. I was going along with it. Now I'm sort of like, yeah. I mean, I did like his era back in the day, but also I want something new. Like, I sincerely hope that Russell T Davies doesn't like just revert back to his old style of Doctor Who that he just did like 15, 16, 17 years ago. I want something a bit more. I want something different, because every era of Doctor Who always feels a bit different. Whether that is in a positive way or in a negative way is of course up to the audience. But I always like it that every era of Doctor Who feels a bit different, and I just hope that we can bring that energy also to this era. Like, of course, I get it. He's done this before, so of course there are going to be similarities. But I just hope that because he's developed so much, like his style of how he makes TV has changed, has developed since then. So I just hope he can bring like a different kind of energy to this new series of Doctor Who that's up ahead. Because I'm at this moment, while I'm enjoying the general vibe from what I can tell, I'm also like a tiny bit nervous that it is going to be a bit too similar to how he used to make Doctor Who. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. That's pretty much it already. There isn't that much more I really can say about the special. I have fun with it. Nothing all that great, but also not really bad. I think Shutigawa had a great first outing as the Doctor, and I definitely want to see where his adventures are taking him. And I'm hopeful for the series ahead, and I think Ruby and the Doctor are gonna have some interesting adventures and have from like this first, what I can tell from this first episode, are gonna have good chemistry. That's it for this review. Thank you so much for watching. Do tell me down in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions on the episode are. What are your vibes that you're getting from Shutigawa as a Doctor, and did you like this special overall? And are you, like me, maybe a bit nervous or maybe also excited about RTD now running Doctor Who again? Please do tell me down in the comments below. As always, I would love to hear from you. That's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done it already. And I'll see all of you very soon. Goodbye.